I'm Gary Hammerslag. I'm founder and CEO of Boa Technology, which I started a little bit more than 10 years ago in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And I started in business actually originally as a carpenter, but then I joined a business with my father. He had been an entrepreneur his whole life, and he asked me to join him in a new company he had just funded. So we learned a lot together. Then my dad had an angioplasty, which is a balloon catheter. A balloon catheter goes into your heart, and it essentially squishes the plaque that's built up in your artery and opens it up. And when he was lying there on the table, because you're awake, you can see it on the screen, and it was difficult to get there. The next morning, the doctor comes by, a very personable guy, and my dad says, hey, if you could bend the tip of that wire from outside the body, wouldn't it have been easier? And the doctor said, yeah, if you can figure out how to do it. So we figured out how to do it. So we were able to sell the company 5 years after we started. Made quite a bit of money, and I moved to Steamboat Springs. And then I started snowboarding. I'd been skiing for many, many years, and I started snowboarding. And I could see that shoelaces were really a poor way for closing snowboard boots. You couldn't get them tight enough. You couldn't adjust them. So it was kind of frustrating. My kids were playing ice hockey at the time. They had the same problem with those skates. So I'm thinking there's got to be a better way.
My name is Mark Soderberg. I'm president of Boa Technology. So I was president and CEO at Volant Ski Company, and that's really when I met Gary. So I was immediately struck by Gary's intensity, and belief in the product and what he wanted to do.
I learned a lot about wires, and I was looking for a new business. What you need is not friction built into eyelets. What you need is a low friction interface. So I made some prototypes, but of course you need something to hold the wires. So I made a reel with a ratchet so you can wind the cable up. And I put them on my snowboard boots. I wasn't working very much because I didn't have a job, and I was snowboarding a lot. And it worked really well after I refined it a little bit. And I was thinking, gosh, I wonder if this could be a business.
At that time, it was just he and his wife up in Steamboat. Here was Gary and his wife in the back of a little bookstore. And somehow, miraculously, Gary had managed to get Vans and K2.
I said, hey, listen, all I'm bringing to the table is the closure system. It's the reel, it's the specialty metal cables, and it's the way we organize the lace guides. And I'm thinking of the bicycle component industry, like Shimano or SRAM that make the derailleurs and the brake parts and all those components, and they sell them to Trek and Specialized and the different bike manufacturers. So I figured, that's what I'll do. I can sell the components to the boot companies. Our first two customers was Vans and K2. And they could see the system, they could see it was adding cost, but they could see the value. And so they said, yeah, let's do this.
In the beginning, literally, it was just those two customers. I was very concerned in the beginning about it just being winter sports because, honestly, the winter sports business is very tough. It's a shrinking business. And, so it's small and challenging, and you need a big piece of it.
This could be used maybe in other high-performance footwear. Certainly snowboard boots, I knew that for sure. I thought hockey skates, inline skates. But after that, I bet you bike shoes, perhaps running shoes. Not sure yet, but it seemed like it could work.
So what was really attractive about this was the concept that it could apply to all footwear. So it's an enormous market.
We were in snowboard boots for the first 3 years, and then we decided to branch into shoes. And we started in bike, and then we branched off into trail shoes, running shoes, golf shoes, and we've been pretty successful in that.
The right team is the business.
My name is Brett Velotica. I'm the Director of Product Development at Boa Technology.
My name is Lonnie Thompson. I'm the Director of Operations.
Recognizing what you're good at and what you're not good at is really key in staffing the company around you.
Obviously, our parts are very, very small. The tolerances are very tight. The features are very small.
Early on, I knew that I needed help growing the business, especially if it grows quickly.
This is just your standard pull tester.
Yeah, one of the things that I like most about being here, the thing that makes me want to show up here every day, is the team that we have and the team that we've built.
When you come to work with people that enjoy what they do, it makes you enjoy it even more.
Each one of these, as these break, this records the exact point at which it breaks.
And it really starts at the top with Mark and Gary.
Everybody we hire, no matter who they are, we go through a lot of effort trying to hire them.
Find a way to experience a real business problem together.
We spend a lot of time to define what we want in a person, define what the position is, and however much effort it takes to find the right person.
We do a fair amount of testing, in our interviewing. An easy one to talk about is engineering, where we'll just hand them the product and give them a screwdriver and say, take it apart and tell me what you see.
Here, I can go to almost 35, about 33, but if I take a much smaller knob, here I'm only at 15, 16.
Because once you hire someone, you make a big investment in them. They make an investment in you. You want it to work out. And on the front end, it's much easier than on the back end if they're not the right person.